I want to thank Ruth, my dear daughter-in-law, for the work she has done on this in copying it.
Lila's reading this thing, a tribute to Papa.
This is a tribute to my dear father. It is a pleasure to meditate on the beautiful life and accomplishments of my dear loving father, Thomas Fielding Burton. Father attended school in Ogden until he was 16 years of age, when in 1886 the family moved to Afton, Wyoming, Star Valley. My grandfather, William W. Burton, established a general mercantile. At first it was in a covered wagon. A few years later he established a creamery. He also had a farm or ranch property. Thomas was the eldest son there, so he was given great responsibilities. He said, "We had no time for delinquency. We had work to do, and we did the work assigned to us. It was important to help one another. I have done this all my life. It makes me happy to help and to share." For 5 years, Thomas returned to Ogden to attend the Weber College during the winter months, where he was employed part-time as an assistant mathematics teacher. He graduated in 1893 or 94. David O. McKay was a very dear classmate. Father served as counselors to 2 bishops in Afton while he was real young. He attended the first session of the dedication of the Salt Lake Temple on the 6th of April, 1893. A talented and lovely young lady, Alice Maud Call of Afton, had become Thomas's very special friend. After a beautiful courtship, they were married on the 22nd of June, 1898, in the Salt Lake Temple. I was the second child and daughter of their 13 children. We children were richly blessed. Our dear parents provided not only our physical needs, but also the intellectual and spiritual qualities needed for a full and happy life. Father enjoyed reading. He read and studied books on various subjects. History, astronomy, biographies were some of his specials. And of course, he read the scriptures of the LDS Church. He was a man of great spirituality and faith. During all of his life, he was a faithful member and worker in the church. He tried to be a Latter-day Saint all 7 days of the week. In Star Valley, he was a ward and stake organist for 25 years or more, and a member of the High Council for 35 years. He was one of the first Mormon missionaries to labor in Western Canada in 1901 to 1902. These and other callings are listed in our family record or books of remembrance. Many of the capabilities he had acquired in his various lines of work served him well in later responsibilities. In 1908, Thomas F Burton was called by the Star Valley State Presidency to study the problem of organizing a high school in Star Valley. He was later appointed president of the Board of Trustees, and he became the first superintendent of the school district, serving until late in 1915. He signed the graduation certificates of the first graduating class of the Star Valley High School in 1915. His great desire to continue his formal education was never realized, but he was nevertheless a student, and his mind was well trained and stored with knowledge acquired by his insatiable love of learning and reading good books. He wrote and often recited many lovely poems, some of which he set to his original music. I have many happy memories of playing these and other choice selections on the piano as he or the family members sang together. He often asked me to play and repeat a favorite melody. "Play it again, girlie," he would say, although we had already repeated it a time or two. I also remember the happy hours when we played piano duets together, especially on Sunday afternoons. Before we had a piano, Father had played the organ in the evenings. My kind and gentle father labored diligently to care for his large family and fulfill his church callings, which are listed in our book of remembrances with other interesting information, including a spiritual experience on a snowy road between Afton and Montpelier, Idaho. Father's principal employment in Afton began with when he was the manager of the Burton Ranch. Then, for a short time, he was bookkeeper and manager of the Burton Mercantile. Then, the bookkeeper and manager of the Burton Creamery was Uncle Arthur Burton. The creamery, in the creamery business, he had helped to organize this in 1890, and he was the one who was the office manager there. After Father and Mother and Alberta moved to Ogden on the 15th of October, 1960, when he was age 89, he was forced to use crutches due to several accidents to his right knee earlier. About a year before he died, on the 8th of April, 1963, cataracts destroyed his vision, but he bore his trials patiently, never complaining. Together, he and my darling mother have been a noble and inspiring example to their children and to many others who observe their love and devotion to one another, the beautiful spirit in their home, and their diligence in performing their duties. And some of my very fondest memories of my dear father are, first, his gentle and affectionate consideration of our mother. Second, the love and care he gave to his children. Third, his devotion and service to his church callings, especially as a high priest. His constant diligence to study and learn more of the Scriptures was another of these fond memories, and his gentle demeanor with never a cross word. And he never complained or criticized. And no foul words were in his vocabulary. And also, he loved beautiful